doing a video with my mom. Mom, say hi.
Hi.
Today I brought my mom here to do a video that I think all of us are going to really appreciate.
Okay, I'm hot. You have to move your arm.
Push. So my childhood upbringing was probably a little less conventional than most people's. Why would you say that?
Well, because we were more progressive in our beliefs and, you know, more educated about food and what was good food and what wasn't good food.
And relating back to this video,
child development. Oh, and this video, because I've done a lot of work around the subject of sex.
So,
particularly HIV prevention.
Okay, go on, this is not what this video is about. Anyways, I never had the sex talk as a kid because my entire life was one giant sex talk. I don't know the first time I ever knew what sex was because I don't remember not knowing what sex was. My mom was also really good.
I don't think I ever told you what sex was. I think you just always knew.
No, because you always talked about it. So I thought if you wanted to ask some questions about sex, we would get some advice about sex from my mom. I had you guys submit these anonymously on Tumblr, so you know, like your friends and family who follow you on Twitter didn't have to. Are you just checking? She's just
I'm
shaking
hot.
herself.
I'm hot. You're so close to me.
I just turned 18 and my boyfriend and I are finally ready to have sex for the first time. However, for our whole relationship, we've been confined to our back seat of our cars when being intimate. I don't want to have my first time in a car and both of our parents are always home. Is there a way around the situation?
Yeah. So there's a lot of sand at a beach, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But, you know, a picnic in the middle of the woods, I don't know where this person lives, or if there's the possibility of finding a more remote spot.
Outdoors.
I mean, you want to have it someplace you feel comfortable. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, who's comfortable having sex in the middle of the forest?
Right.
I want to have sex without the whole baby thing. What are the best kinds of preventative measures I can take?
Well, birth control is really important, and using condoms as well, because condoms are going to protect you from diseases as well as prevent pregnancy, but they're not as good at preventing pregnancy. So the Dutch do what they call the double Dutch method, right? So that means they'll use like birth control pills or something like that as well as condoms, and they'll protect, you know, have double protection, which is, you know, even safer. So I would encourage people to do that.
What do you do if you accidentally become pregnant?
You know, that's a very personal decision. So I just think that you really need to think about a couple of things. Are you ready to become a parent? Is the father of the baby ready to become a parent? And if you're not ready to become a parent, then you need to consider putting a baby up for adoption, or you can consider an abortion. So it's really about your values. A lot of people might find it hard to carry a pregnancy for 9 months and then give the baby up for adoption. That's a big commitment. How
do you deal with being afraid of oral sex? Alcohol.
That's their answer. I'm guessing that's giving, not receiving. Practice. Everything takes practice.
What's the best way to say no to somebody who wants to have sex? No, 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 and no. Just say no.
Well, you can say, yeah, I might like you, but I'm not ready to do that, which is a lot of times you do like
say,
person. That's
stop. Don't touch me there. This is my private square. I'm starting university in September and I'm scared people may judge me for still being a virgin at 18. Do you have any advice?
I think that's fine that you're a virgin at 18.
I don't think anything wrong with that.
You know, be choosy.
In the really wise words of Cher from Clueless.
I mean, I'm not prude, I'm just highly selective. I mean, you see how picky I am about my shoes, and they only go on my feet.
I'm 19 years old and I've only ever been kissed once in my life. I feel like I'm ready to experience my sexuality and I want to do this, but recently I've gained a lot of weight, which has made my confidence drop a lot. Do you have any advice on overcoming body anxieties? Whoever you're having sex with does not care what your body looks like.
No, by and large they don't.
No.
But you can also pick somebody who's a really special person that you really like, that you're comfortable with.
If you're not comfortable in general, like, with the whole situation, but if it is like based entirely on your body, understand that A, you're your own harshest critic, and B, you got the parts. And to a certain extent, that's all that people are really searching for.
Right. If you're not feeling comfortable, it's not going to be much fun. So you've got to pick a partner that's going to make you feel comfortable.
Is anal a normal thing? What do you do if you don't want to do it? You do not have to do it.
You don't have to do that. Some people do that. Some people enjoy it. If you do that, you really do have to use protection because it's even easier to transmit things that way.
Okay, can we stop? It's like literally making me nauseous. What if a condom gets lost in me? Is this possible?
Well, sure, but it can't really get lost, okay? So your vagina is a closed thing with your cervix in there.
I didn't think there was no way for it. It's like getting a tampon lost.
No,
you can't
really get lost. Well, you might misplace it for a little bit. You might think, all right, no.
You might misplace the condom in your vagina.
So if that happens, if it comes off inside of you while he pulls out, that's what happens. So you have to just
grab
reach in there and do that. So
get friendly with yourself.
Yeah.
What if he has an orgasm before you do?
Yeah, well.
What else will you
Welcome
get?
to habits. Yeah, get used to
Get
that.
used to that. What are the best condoms to buy?
It depends on, all right, you need lubricated condoms. That's really important. No spermicide, because that can actually irritate your skin and create more opportunities for infection. So lubricated condoms, and it really just depends on the size of the guy. And they have different condoms now. Some are ribbed to give you more pleasure,
for
whatever.
pleasure.
If the person is small, then you want to go for like a kimono condom. Those condoms are smaller. That's important to know, because part of why condoms come off is because they can be too big for some people.
And girls should buy condoms too. Girls should have condoms.
Oh sure, girls can have condoms.
How do you know when it's the right time?
Well, I think your body tells you that. You feel that. I think you really need to care about the person, and I think you feel like you want to do that. You get horny. Your body tells you, I want to do this.
I know personally I've always been disappointed by sex. What is your advice for approaching this subject with guys? Girl, I feel you.
Okay, so, it's important for you to get to know your own body, and, doing that
My mom's talking about
yourself
masturbation.
is fine. I think it is, and vibrators can help, whatever you want to do. But I think it's important that you get to know what pleasures you and get to know your own body. And once you know that, then you can potentially communicate that with your partner.
Is it okay if I'm 20 and still a virgin? Yeah,
Sure.
So, yeah, be 40-year-old virgin. There was a whole movie, Steve Carell was in it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm a really sexual girl with a dirty mind. How do I express that without coming across as a slut? First of all, slut is my least favorite word. Have as much sex as you want, as long as you're being comfortable, you're safe, and everyone else, like the people that you are having sex with, are also feeling comfortable and safe. Do you?
But sometimes you can get more dirty and have more fun with the same person because you feel more comfortable with that.
And there's nothing wrong with being sexual as a girl or as a boy. Is the first time having sex really something so special?
What was yours so special?
We were gonna make this personal, Mom. It can be if you want it to be. And I think that there's different ways going about losing your virginity, and you can have sex with someone for the first time with somebody you really love and you really care about, and it's a super romantic thing because you're so deeply in love, or it could be that you're just ready to be done with it, and kind of like, as long as, I think my whole thing is, as long as you're on the same page with the person, then I think like that's fine. I think the thing is like, it's awkward. Like,
right, it is
it's
awkward. It's not going to be the best sex.
You literally have two naked bodies.
No, but that's why, and it takes practice. I would wait to find somebody that you're comfortable with.
But don't set your expectations to be
No,
some like
don't,
beautiful.
No, it just doesn't work like that.
No.
It can build up to that.
Watch The Spectacular now, and that is exactly, there is no sugarcoating.
Yeah.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I told you I wasn't answering any questions.
That's not
about me.
fair! After you hook up with someone, how do you end it? Like, you stop and then it's awkwardly silent. What do you talk about? You light a cigar and you have a glass of scotch.
Well, it's actually okay to be quiet for a little while. Usually he's really tired anyway, so he might even doze off.
How do I get Harry Styles to sleep with me?
Yeah, good luck with that. Sorry.
Was this video awkward for you to film?
A little, but not much. It's more just the camera, it's not the topic.
She could talk about sex left and right, y'all. What do you tell girls whose parents aren't okay with them having sex? So if someone's having sex, they're like 16 years old, do you recommend them telling their parents? Do you feel like you need to tell your parents when you're sexually active or no?
You need to have sex in a responsible way, and you need to make sure you're using protection and things like that. If you can't, if it depends on your relationship with your parents. That's why we have emancipated minor laws in California and most other states, because we recognize a lot of times parents can't deal with this, and yet it's really important that kids have access to birth control. So you can go to Planned Parenthood, you can get examined, you can get birth control without your parents' permission, because at the end of it, everybody wants you to be safe. It's great if you can share that with your family, your parents, if you feel like you have that kind of relationship. A lot of teens don't always feel like
oh my
they can do
god,
that.
my mom and I didn't talk about this until I turned 21. I thought you were blissfully ignorant.
A lot, yeah. There's a lot you thought I didn't know
I
that
know.
I knew.
I
Yes.
know now.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as sneaky as I thought.
No, you weren't.
And if you have any other questions, tweet them all to my mom. She will
Alright.
answer every single one.
Bye, YouTube. Stop, don't do that. Don't.
Kitty punch, kitty punch! You spilled. Hello, everybody, welcome to a brand new video on my channel. If you've never been here before, what's up? My name is Megan. If you know me, you're like, Megan, what are you doing? And I'm here to tell you, as the title of this video says, that I moved. I got the keys today, so I thought I would bring you guys along, show you around my empty new place, crib style.